Well, maybe you sensed it, that feeling that you're being watched. Well, the state has laws against stalking on the books, making it a felony.
I will put enmity between thee and the woman.
Cynthia Verbeff is moving. Her home, she says, has become a house of horrors.
I feel that I've lost my mind, I've lost my life.
And between thy seed and her seed.
Cameras record them going through intersections, zero in on their face.
It shall bruise thy head.
Virtually impossible to be able to tell that someone is being attacked because we cannot see these weapons that are being used against you. We can only see the direct effects, and these effects, really seem like symptoms.
God said, have you considered my servant Job? You wonder sometimes why Paul is attacked so much. Why do they assault him? Why is he the object of ridicule and scorn?
The phenomenon of gang stalking, WTF.
There was a time when even Satanists followed me. They were trying to get me. The enemy was after my life.
Right now you may not be able to see the reason for your trials and troubles and tribulations and problems and sorrows.
Hundreds of people in the valley say they are hearing voices in their heads.
The signs of the zodiac, the constellations of the sky, which seem to be the same whether we go to Egyptian or Greek or Roman or Persian, Arabic, to Indian or Chinese, the same signs were held throughout the world.
The rapper was shot and killed in his car right outside of a Deerfield Beach motorcycle shop.
He drove to the stop sign, and then as soon as he got a stop sign about to make it right the street, literally a black van, a black Dodge, pulled up in front of him. Two dudes with masks and guns got out of the car.
Where did they come from? At the time of the building of the Tower of Babel, this was corrupted into astrology, whereby instead of these being signs of God,
the truck was parked. It was unmarked. No one was in uniforms. They did not identify themselves.
Electronic harassment, synthetic telepathy, voice-to-skull technology.
The order of vital events in God's plan for this world, that man knows where he's at.
And a blood moon.
the sun and the moon and the planets and the stars.
Revelation 12 verse 7.
And they tried to sacrifice me. And they tried to sacrifice. I hate sticking on it.
There was war in heaven. There was war in heaven.
See, I am a victim of covert harassment and electronic harassment and gang stalking. I'm what's called a targeted individual.
Shattered paradise.
We are not ignorant of his devices. That old serpent called the devil and Satan.
Cynthia Verbeff is moving. Her home, she says, has become a house of horrors.
I feel that I've lost my mind, I've lost my life.
Incident reports from law enforcement tell the tale. Numerous break-ins at the address. Vandalism to her car, her motorcycle, her computer. Verbeff believes she's being targeted.
Everything. They just went through everything.
But sheriff's detectives had little to go on because the vandals, though often destructive, stole nothing. Even from her portable safe, drilled into and torn apart, the contents, the jewelry, remained untouched. Verbeff says her troubles didn't start until she met these two men. One would become her ex-boyfriend, the other was his partner in a San Antonio pain clinic, Dr. John Hall.
Very first time I met him, we went to his house on 4th of July, and he told me that because I was already there in his house, I would be the next victim, that I was going to be stalked.
Verbeff found the doctor's prophecy to be correct. She suffered months of oddness.
Coming in through the front door, and I touch the doorknob, and it just falls into pieces.
Lights left on, doors open, furniture moved, her clothes dryer disassembled. Her friends say they noticed the strange happenings. They tell the I-Team they even witnessed a gas oven left turned on.
As soon as you walk in the house, you'd smell gas in the house. So the whole house smelled from gas. So immediately turned it off and opened up the doors. But I mean, that thing doesn't just turn on by itself. And it had been running for a good length of time.
Or the time Verbeff and a friend say they were stalked at a mall.
I saw him following us to several stores, and I would see the man close to us, looking at us.
The girls had the presence of mind to snap a photo with their phone. Verbeff says all these happenings culminated in an assault. The 39-year-old believes someone drugged the food in her home and returned later to rape her.
I know something happened to me because a woman knows.
She filed a report and was briefly hospitalized with signs of sexual assault. Dr. Hall says what Verbeff describes is known as gang stalking.
The 4G network responds to our commands in just under 50 milliseconds. With 5G, it will take around 1 millisecond, 400 times faster than a blink of the eye.
That they were indeed experimenting with, when I say experimenting, voice-to-skull, hive mind, behavior modification technology that is frequency-based.
Thanks to facial recognition, more than 20 million facial images are now held by the police.
If the police start deploying a technology without us understanding what it will do, and without any government framework, legislative framework or independent oversight, then I think that will undermine trust in the police. Then you're perfectly right, there is this question about invasion of individual privacy. And there needs to be a proper balance between whatever the public interest has claimed and the interference in that individual privacy.
The deployment of the cameras is to test the technology and was implemented following close liaison with the Information Commissioner and Big Brother Watch.
Surveillance is obviously crucial to the police and intelligence agencies, and counter-terrorism makes it even more vital. What facial recognition allows, though, is the computer to pick your face out of the crowd. Rather than just being kept tabs on, you're tracked in real time. It's mass surveillance for the physical world.
Businesses are getting into it too. Adverts can be targeted at you in real time by detecting your gender, your age, and even your emotions. This is an unsettling future, one that so far the public has had little say over.
But basically, people are selected from all over the country. We're talking other cities all over America. They are selected for many different reasons. Often it is because they are isolated. But once these people are selected, they will have the entire gang stalking / voice to skull program run against them. But they will be organized stalked. They will have career sabotage programs run against them to ruin their job. They will have character assassinations campaigns. There is a precedent, I will say, that I'm aware of for hiring people that have displayed a certain moral ambiguity concerning certain issues. For example, within certain private security companies in the Seattle area, there are a lot of ex-LAPD. In fact, when the Rodney King riots went down and a lot of the scandals that went on in Los Angeles, the LAPD went through several stages of reform, and anybody from LA, of course, will remember this. And the people that were forced out of LAPD ended up almost exclusively going to work for private security companies. So you can imagine the types of characters that ended up in private security companies when the LAPD didn't want them anymore. Also, people that have criminal backgrounds are often coveted for gang stalking type of assignments. The reason for this is that they do not mind, obviously, mistreating other people, as many of the people freak out, understandably, when they at first don't know what it is. Oftentimes, they end up going to psychiatrists, be isolated from family and friends. Looking at the highest levels of this social engineering program, where scientists from all over the country and all over the world, they're looking at someone's genetics, they're looking at someone's cognitive abilities, they're looking at each individual fits the general profile that I'm describing. So they're highly intelligent, they are able to be isolated by whatever means. They normally have some sort of what I would describe as a free mind. They're people that aren't, part of the crowd, so to speak, in the way that they think. They're outsiders. They're what the government would call dissidents or revolutionaries, or people that may be a problem. That's a great question. I do not have direct knowledge of that personally in terms of an individual, how they are selected.